Hello, today I am going to give you some Premier League predictions. So language to talk about predictions. I am going to talk about the players and who is going to get these awards. Also, I will give you some language for predicting and for forming questions. Questions can be difficult for English learners, so at the end of the video there will be a short quiz. Okay, number one is the golden boot. And sometimes I hear English learners say the golden shoe. But no, we say boot. So the golden boot, the leading goal scorer, the top goal scorer, the capocannoniere, I think they say in Italy. So for the question, you need the question word and then the future tense. So who will win the golden boot? Or if you want to soften it, if you want to make it a softer question, here you can say, who do you think will win the golden boot? And for me, I think that there are many contenders. Obviously Salah, Aubameyang, Jamie Vardy, Harry Kane, Raul Jimenez, Danny Ings, Sergio Aguero, Timo Werner. Also this year I think Martial is a contender, so he is a challenger. This is from boxing as well, I think. I think Martial is a contender for the golden boot because of the midfield that Manchester United now have with Fernandes and Pogba. But for me, I am going to choose or go for or pick Mohamed Salah. He looks focused, he has a new haircut, he is hungry for goals. I think Mohamed Salah is going to win the golden boot.
Sending off against Manchester City. Salah! Oh wow! Oh! That is beyond special!
Okay, next is most assists. So in the future tense you can use will plus verb, or is going to plus verb, or in American is gonna plus verb. So who is going to the most assists? And here I don't know what verb to use here. Do you make assists? Do you do assists? Do you have assists? Or do you get assists? For me, the most natural is probably get. So who is going to get the most assists? Assists is a new word. Well, it came to prominence in the last 5-10 years. When I was younger, we did not use assists. We use make. So you made a goal, or you set up a goal, or you create a goal. We never used assists, but now it is more common. So, who is going to get the most assists? Last year it was Kevin De Bruyne. I think he got 20 assists, the same as the record with Thierry Henry. This year I think Bruno Fernandes is a contender, Hakim Ziyech, Willian from Arsenal, Trent Alexander-Arnold. For me, I am going to choose Kevin De Bruyne. Okay, next is POTY or YPOTY. And this is an acronym and it stands for Player of the Year or Young Player of the Year. So with this question, when you want to include a subject, so in these two questions there is no subject, but here there is a subject. KDB, another acronym, Kevin De Bruyne, and TAA, another acronym, Trent Alexander-Arnold. So when you want to include the subject, you have to put it in between will and the main verb. So will KDB win the Player of the Year? He won it last year. This year, I'm going to go for Bruno Fernandes. I think he looked phenomenal at the end of last season, and if Manchester United have a good season, it will be because of him.
Here's Bruno Fernandes! Slips through beyond Jordan Pickford.
Last year, it was Trent Alexander-Arnold for the Young Player of the Year award. So here, the subject goes between the be verb is and going to. So this is the auxiliary verb. So is Trent Alexander-Arnold going to win the Young Player of the Year? Possibly, but I don't think so. I think he may have a chance for the Player of the Year award. But for the Young Player of the Year award, I think Phil Foden is a good contender. Also, you have Kai Havertz, Greenwood for Manchester United. But for me, I'm going to go for Phil Foden.
Towards Phil Foden, who scores! 2-0, what a nice moment that is for the youngster.
Okay, next is signing of the season. So transfer of the season. But in the UK, we talk about signings. Who is a good signing? So the question here, can you think of the question? So who, future tense, will be the signing of the season? And I know it is still in the transfer window, but for me, I think I will choose 3 signings of the season. I'm going to choose Gabriel, who is a tank. He is built like a tank. He looks like a very good defender, just what Arsenal needed. Also, I think James Rodriguez for Everton. He looks quality, real quality. Also, for signing of the season, I am going to choose Hakim Ziyech. So he is another really good quality player. I think he will get a lot of assists. If he plays, Chelsea have a lot of attacking options now. But if Hakim Ziyech plays, I think he will be one of the signings of the season. Okay, next is breakthrough season. So this is for a player who maybe nobody is talking about, nobody knows so well. This season, they will come to prominence and everybody will be talking about them. So there are a few contenders, possibly Minamino, who looks good in pre-season. Curtis Jones for Liverpool also. Ferran Torres, who is also a contender for the Young Player of the Year. Also Reece James for Chelsea. Arsenal have young players like Joe Willock, Saka, Martinelli. Sheffield United have an interesting wing-back who they signed from Derby County called Jayden Bogle. Also Leeds have some players that maybe people don't know about, like Jack Harrison and Calvin Phillips. But I am going to pick somebody who is from Liverpool and he plays for Everton. His name is Anthony Gordon. He looks good and maybe he will get a few chances this year. So I think Anthony Gordon will have a breakthrough season. Next is FPL Hero. So maybe you don't play fantasy football, but this means Fantasy Premier League Hero. So this is somebody who maybe isn't expected to get a lot of points and they are maybe cheap in the game, but they will get a lot of points. So who will be the FPL Hero? Last year it was John Lundstram from Sheffield United because he played in midfield, but in the game he was a defender. This year I cannot spot any players who are like that, but I think Jack Harrison from Leeds, I think he is quite cheap. He got a lot of assists last year in the Championship and he can do that again this year with better finishing. So for me, I'm going to go for Jack Harrison as the FPL Hero. Okay, what are your predictions? Please try to answer the questions in the comments below. Now there will be a short quiz to practice forming questions. See you in the next video.